What's going on, Washington Commanders Nation? It's your boy Rio Robinson back with the latest and greatest from the Rambling with Rio YouTube channel, where we ramble about the Washington Commanders. It is Mock Draft Monday on the channel, March the 20th. The owners' meetings are this week, and Washington is set to meet with a linebacker today, a linebacker we're familiar with, someone who actually had it down to us in Cleveland last year before he signed. I'm talking about Anthony Walker Jr., but we're going to have a video coming for him if we sign him. He's going to be visiting today, but the topic of today's video, it's Mock Draft Monday, baby, and today we're doing a first round mock draft, but we're putting a little twist on it. Washington has a very tumultuous history when it comes to drafting second round picks. Either they're complete busts, they're not worth the pick, or it was just an abstract disaster. Like, we just have the worst karma in the second round. So I'm replicating the model that we had in the 2019 draft where we double dipped. After we took Dwayne Haskins with the 15th pick, we traded back up with the Colts into the first round that year to get edge rusher Montez Sweat, who turned out to be a big hit for us. But I like the value in this draft, and I think it would be very advantageous for Washington to check off two of their biggest needs on night one of the draft. And why wait till pick 47 when you can get two guys that you love on night one of the draft and just sacrifice a second and a day three pick in second next year and a day three pick this year? So without further ado, let's get into it with the 16th pick in the 2023 NFL draft. The Washington Commanders select cornerback Devin Witherspoon, Illinois. First consensus All-American defensive back in the history of the program. Baller. Runner-up for the Jim Thorpe Award for best DB in the country. He should have won the award. No disrespect to LaDainian Tomlinson's nephew, Tre'Davious, but this is the best corner in the country. I think when it comes to the draft, it's 1A and 1B who the best corner in this draft is, between Christian Gonzalez out of Oregon and Devin Witherspoon out of Illinois. He's an absolute dog. You see that number 31 he wears? To be a cornerback and not a huge size cornerback, he's not the longest guy, pause. He's a 6-foot corner, 190 pounds. He comes downhill and brings the boom like another 31 I know. He comes downhill like Cam Chancellor to be a cornerback. I know how they say some corners are willing tacklers because the position in totality is just not an aggressive position. It's a finesse position. But this guy absolutely deserves the cliche, got that dog in him, because he has pit bull in his blood. This dude comes downhill and cracks domes. Tackle for loss for days. Comes in the backfield. He's lighting up running backs. He's willing to take on blockers. He's willing to throw his head in the mix. He plays with the heart of Jeremy Reeves, but put that into the body and fluidity and hip movement of a starting corner. I like our cornerback room as it currently stands. I like it. I'd love to love it, though. Like, just imagine this. Benjamin St-Juste, he's progressing very well. He's on a very good trajectory after 2 years. He has to show us that he can be healthy for a full season. But he looks like a very fine CB2. Kendall Fuller feels like a top end-ish CB2. We need a CB1. Like, imagine your starting corners are Devin Witherspoon and Benjamin St-Juste, Kendall Fuller and Dantzler spelling them. We can use some help in the slot. We got the Danny Johnsons and the Rashad Wild Gooses of the world. But I feel like Witherspoon, while he's transitioned in, can play the slot, but he's going to be best from the outside. This is a number one alpha dog. I think the cornerback room lacks an alpha. I think we got a bunch of solid guys in the room. This guy steps in day one, is our number one corner. He thrives in man-to-man coverage, but also can play zone. Very scheme versatile, offers Ron's two favorite words, position flex. But this guy, 17 passes defended in 2022, 3 interceptions. We need to be able to create turnovers on this team. This guy's going to be able to run with and go stride for stride with some of the league's best receivers. And I think that is something that this secondary currently lacks. And this would be a huge addition. Then comes the matter, is he going to be there at 16? I think Philly retaining Darius Slate and Bradbury makes it very possible that one of the top 3 corners between Witherspoon, Porter Jr., and Gonzalez makes it to 16. And if it's my personal preference, I would hope it's Gonzalez or Witherspoon. I love Joey Porter Jr. as well, but these guys have more juice and a higher motor than them. I would love to have Witherspoon on this defense and throw a single digit on him and St. Juice. We have a cornerback tandem, and we get Anthony Walker in the building to go with Cody Barton and Jamin Davis. The defense at that point pretty much has all they need, and Jack Del Rio needs to get it together, and we can very much prioritize offense in the draft. So with the 16th pick, we're going Devin Witherspoon. Absolute dog, like my man Pat McAfee says. And then we're not waiting for pick 47 to go on the clock again. We're calling up the New Orleans Saints. Hey guys, you know how last year we did that deal, the Chris Olave at 11 deal, and we ended up flipping that into Jahan Dotson, Brian Robinson Jr., and Sam Howell? Let's do business for consecutive years. We developed a rapport. We built a relationship with you last year. Hit my line again. Let's go. Let's talk about pick 29. You know, there's not too many guys you're in love with in this class, and we know you're cap struck a little bit, especially after bringing Derek Carr in the building. Why don't y'all go ahead and surrender your first round pick? Number 29, we'll give you 47 this year, pick 118 this year, and our second next year. We want to come back in the first round. We want to get a 5th-year contract on 2 guys that we love at positions of need here. So if you guys are wanting to talk business, let's do a deal. Washington is back on the clock at pick number 29 in the night 1 of the NFL draft. And with that pick, Washington selects guard Osiris Torrance out of the University of Florida. Come on down, Osiris. We get to beef up the left side of the line. I believe Nick Gates, based on what I've heard, Nick Gates and Andrew Wiley are here to start on the offensive line at center and at right tackle. And what that shows me is that they're not looking to move on from Charles Leno Jr. yet, despite fans like myself's criticisms of him not being a top end left tackle. So when the numbers game plays out, the current starting offensive line is left tackle Charles Leno Jr., center Nick Gates or Chase Roullier if retained, right guard Sam Cosmi, right tackle Andrew Wiley, meaning there's one vacancy left on the starting O-line here. And why not get a 5th-year option, 5-year contract on a guy? That is why teams trade back into the bottom of the first round. It's just not to say, oh, look at us, we're thirsty, we want to get back in the first just because we want to make another pick. No, you get the option of having an additional year. That is the luxury of picking in the first round. And this is a guy I know Ron Rivera cherishes, loves, and I know they cannot wait to get their hands on this guy. We don't currently have an offensive line coach, but whoever that O-line coach is going to be, whether that's Juan Casillo or someone outsourced from elsewhere, they're going to love Osiris Torrance. 6'5", 347 pounds. I believe he dropped down to like 333 for the combine. Washington has met with him at the combine and at the Senior Bowl. He's an absolute bulldozer, mauler, mountain of a man. This is a dude who's just gonna put your teeth in the dirt every single play. I think he lacks in pass rushing at times, but you know, that can grow over time. Develop him. He has the mold and the makings to be a day one contributor and starter at left guard. Punch him next to Nick Gates and Charles Leno, and that left side is locked up. And you have a formidable and upgraded offensive line from last year. I believe Ron in a way when he says the line may not have been as bad as it seemed with like given the casual eye test. It was not good by any means, but I will keep beating the drum that there were enough plays to be made here on the O-line. I mean, for the quarterback, but we lacked a quarterback that could make those plays. Also, Carson Wentz and Taylor Heineke are both slow processors. And Sam, he has quick feet, a quick release, and he gets the ball out of his hands quick. And that is very important because now we're running Eric Bieniemy's West Coast offense. And the main ingredients of a West Coast offense is getting the ball out of your hands quick, rinking, dinking, and matriculating the ball up the field, throwing horizontal passes to get the ball in the hands of your playmakers that can then open up the vertical game to stretch the field and hit them deep for a home run ball, which we know Sam can throw it. Sam throws the deep ball like a young prime Russell Wilson, and I'm not trying to size it when I say that. Go back and watch the man play at UNC. He was one of the best deep ball passers in the last 7 years of college football, not to mention the second most productive and efficient quarterback in ACC history behind Trevor Lawrence. Put some respect on Sam Howell's name. We upgraded throughout the line because we want to protect our investment and give Sam Howell the best shake at being QB1 here in DC. And I believe Osiris Torrance at pick 29 and a trade up back into the first round does that. And we go into night 3 of the draft. We go into night 2 of the draft saying we don't pick till the end of the third for our compensatory pick, but we're feeling lovely on our high horse, chest poked out, peacocking, chin up, saying we got the number 1 corner and the number 1 guard on night 1 of the NFL draft. Let's roll in 2023. I think Osiris Torrance is the best interior line guy in the class this year, despite the fact that Jalen Carter absolutely abused this man, took his lunch money, and made him look less than the entire night when they played Georgia. But Jalen Carter, to a lot of folks, is the best player in this upcoming class. So I'm not going to hold that too against him because that's really the only bad tape Osiris Torrance has. But he got his ass handed to him by Jalen Carter. And that's the caliber of player he's going to be playing against most of the time in the NFL. But Devin Witherspoon, Osiris Torrance, pick 16, pick 29. Show me a better mock out there. I challenge you. Show it to me. Let me know what you would think of those 2 picks. And Washington trading up from 47 back into the first round to get that 5th-year option on another guard. Word to Jay Gruden. But that's all I got for right now. We're expecting ownership news any second now. Washington has a linebacker in the building visiting an upgraded linebacker. A linebacker I can say is substantially better than Cole Holcomb and Jamin Davis. 3 years of 100 tackle production, Anthony Walker Jr. Come on down. Ron, get the deal done with the guy. It's Mock Draft Monday, Rambling with Rio. Until next time, hail to the Washington Commanders. Deuces.